All right, everybody, it's time to talk about the stuff. I got the DVD, not the Arrow Blu-ray, because I'm a cheapskate. I'm not gonna spend 25 plus dollars on this movie just to get some bonus features or some shit. The DVD is, I would bet, almost as good, if not just as good. It looked pretty good. There were some moments where it didn't look as good, mainly like effect shots, like green screen stuff. But this is a good transfer. So if you like this movie and you don't have it for some reason, get the DVD. It's only like $6.99 or some shit. So get the DVD, not the Blu-ray, unless you want like a commentary track or something or whatever they have. So this is a Patreon request. I'm not sure if I said that yet. Thank you for donating, and he or she chose the stuff. So this was my second viewing, and I really enjoyed this movie. What is it about? It's about this product called the stuff. And once people consume it, they get addicted. It takes over their minds. It's habit forming, mind controlling, and life absorbing. This has Michael Moriarty, who's in a lot of Cohen films, and it even has Brooke Adams in the movie, and she was in Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which is kind of similar to this movie in a way. And yeah, it's even got, I think, Danny Aiello. Great movie. So let's get into it. So the positives for this movie is the characters of Mo. You got Chocolate Chip, Charlie. There's so many great characters in this movie. Even Colonel, I'm blanking, Spears. Colonel Spears, even though he's a little racist at one point, he's a great character. There's so many good characters in this movie. Lots of good humor. The humor overall, it works for me. It's not like, too over the top. It's not purposely trying to be like bad or something. And it's not like characters are trying to, or actors are trying to like ham it up. It's not trying to go over the top. It's not too much. It's just the right amount of comedy. And this movie isn't just trying to show off special effects or anything. This movie has a message, along with a lot of Cohen films. A lot of his movies always seem to have like some kind of political or social message to them. And there's a lot beneath the surface on this film. Most of it's pretty obvious what they're trying to talk about, but it's like a commentary on all kinds of things, commercialism and the fast food industry, alcohol, tobacco, and companies and CEOs just pushing products on people that they know are harmful, they're addictive. It's all you can think about. It changes who you are. It's harmful to you, it's harmful to your family. We see that firsthand in this movie. This kid's family is changing once they start consuming this shit. I like that this movie has a message, and it's a fun story overall. I like it. I like what they're going for here. I like the advertisements in the movie. They're very 80s. And the music overall I really liked. And the soundtrack in this film sounded kind of like Child's Play 3 at a couple of moments. So if your music can remind me of Child's Play 3, you're doing a good thing, because I love that movie. And this movie even has some good like body horror effects, like people like mouths stretching open and people falling apart. There's not a lot of it, but when you do get it, it's just good old B movie 80s cheese. I just love the body horror in this film. Like, people are just getting so full of stuff, they're like puking the stuff out, and even the effects with just the stuff, like filling up rooms, was kind of cool. Like, there's even like a scene that's kind of like the Tina death in Nightmare on Elm Street, where you can tell it's like they shot it in like a rotating room or something, like all the stuff sliding up the wall. So I thought that scene was pretty cool. It's probably my favorite scene in the movie. Not to say that there's nothing else great in the movie, but that was like a standout scene for me. And it's a very well paced, very rewatchable movie. Like, I can see myself watching this, once a year. And I think it's a movie also like Poltergeist, where it's like for all ages, because this movie doesn't go for horror. Like, it's not really all that horrific. It's mainly just like a investigation adventure comedy with some horror elements. Like, the idea of what's going on is kind of horrific. If you saw your family turn into what they turn into, and you saw this stuff happening around you, yeah, that's horrific. But it's mainly a comedy and an adventure movie, if you ask me. So it's for everybody. I feel like your kids could watch this movie. Yeah, there's some swearing, there's some like I said, kind of body horror effects, like people's faces get kind of punched off, but it's very brief stuff. So this is a movie for everybody, I feel like. So that could be a bad thing for you if you're just looking for a movie that's for adults and very R rated and horror. And this is rated R, it says on the back, but I feel like that's mainly like swearing. and maybe a scene of action where people are getting shot. Kind of turns into an action flick at one point. And but yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. The only like nitpicks I would have is some of the effects don't age all that well. There's some green screen effects, and you can just tell they're not in the actual scene. Like they're in a studio, maybe in front of a green screen, kind of like me right now, and they're not actually there with the stuff, and you can kind of like see the outline around them. Some effects in the movie don't really age that well, and there's not enough of the body horror stuff. Like there's a couple of quick moments where people's faces might fall apart real quick, and one of the characters, their face is kind of stretched, but it's just very brief stuff. I wish there was a little bit more of that in the film. And the whole storyline with the kid, I don't feel like it's all that needed in the plot. Like I feel like they should have subtracted that and focused more on just Michael Moriarty, Mo, his character, and Chocolate Chip Charlie and his love interest in the movie, because they always gotta have a love interest, even if it's incredibly forced. They just throw that love interest in the movie, but she does play a pivotal role in the film. But I wish they would have focused more on Mo and this girl, who's like the PR lady for the stuff. I wish they would have focused more on that and not the kid. Just personal preference. But yeah, outside of that, final thoughts. It's a damn good lower budget flick. It's a $1.7 million budget. I looked. I'm not sure how much that would translate today, but still, like you can. I think Larry Cohen's just great with low budgets. He knows how to make a profit. Like he knows how to make a great low budget horror comedy flick. And this is just another great one from him. So if you're a Larry Cohen fan, or if you're a B movie horror comedy fan, this is one that you should definitely check out. It's a blast. Love the characters. Love just how the story progresses. It's a fun adventure horror comedy with some good body horror effects here and there. So when it comes to the stuff, if you haven't seen it for some reason, check it out. Go out and buy it. Alright, so time for a spoiler discussion. Let's get more in depth. So this movie opens up with the stuff already on Earth. There's no explanation. There's no like shooting star or UFO crashing onto Earth. It's something from space. It's just already there at some like mining place, and this guy just walks up and he's already eating it off the ground. Like who does that? Who just walks up to something they don't even know what it is and they just start tasting it? Like you don't know what the fuck that is. That's disgusting. And I think we find out, the FDA was obviously paid off because the bottles of the stuff, they only even have like nutritional facts on the back of them. So it's like, you don't even know what you're eating. So that alone, I feel like would make no one want to go buy it at the store. So that's a little bit of a stretch, the fact that there's so many people like on this stuff. Like if you were walking down the aisle at the grocery store and you picked the stuff up and there was nothing on the back that said what was in it, no one would buy it. I didn't see any nutritional facts. Maybe there was. I tried to look at the bottle more closely. I didn't see any nutritional facts. So it's like, what the? And yeah, and the main guy, he's trying to find out what's the ingredients. So obviously there is no nutritional facts on the back. So then Mo gets hired. He's hired to go find out what's the ingredients, what's the secret recipes, like Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob. He's got to go find out what. Oh, wait, no, Plankton. It's the opposite. I haven't seen SpongeBob in forever because I'm an adult, but it just made me think of that, like how in SpongeBob, like Plankton would try to find out what Mr. Krabs' special recipe was. That's basically what he's doing. He's trying to find out what they're doing with the stuff. And so this kid just goes ape shit at the store. He's like single-handedly thinking he can destroy the stuff, like all of it, and prevent everybody from eating it by going to the store and like knocking shit out of the shelves and even taking a bottle from a kid. He's just going nuts. It's like, really, kid? You think you can stop everybody from eating this stuff, acting like that? And then we get like this dog attacking his owner because I guess the dog was eating the stuff as well. And he just got so hungry for the stuff that he attacked his own owner. And but yeah, there's like a quick effect shot with the dog opening his mouth and the stuff is like coming out of his mouth. Very quick shot. And then we meet Chocolate Chip Charlie. This scene just almost felt like that one scene in Pieces, because when this guy is introduced, he like is trying to like kung fu fight Mo. He like even punches the ground accent. He's talking like how he's got iron fists, like my fists are my weapons. I don't need a gun. It just kind of reminded me of that scene in Pieces where the kung fu professor just comes out of nowhere and starts trying to kick that woman's ass. Took me right back to that. And then they get into like this confrontation with these few guys in this small town. The guy gets his face like punched right off, like his like a hole in his face. That looked pretty cool. And then we meet the CEO of the stuff, and of course he's not eating his own product. Why would he? He knows what's in it. And so then the kid's family is officially under like mind control. They're trying to force this shit on their own son. He ain't gonna have any of that crap. He goes upstairs and he like dumps it all out. He puts a bunch of shaving cream inside, but it's like, why would you do that? All you had to do was go upstairs, dump it out, and be like, I finished it. I thought that's what he's gonna do, but he's like, no, I'll dump it out and then put a bunch of shaving cream inside and pretend eat that. But he actually does eat it, so he gets sick and he throws up in the back of Mo's car. It's like, what are you thinking, kid? Just dump it out and say you ate it. I didn't understand that decision. So then they recruit the kid and they fly him somewhere, and they leave him in the airplane, and the airplane's like immediately attacked by the stuff company, and they're like filling up the airplane with the stuff, and he like sneaks into like this rig, this like truck rig, and hides in there for some reason. That kind of comes back to bite him later on when it starts like filling up, which is kind of a terrifying scene if you put yourself in his shoes, to think that you could be suffocated and drowned in that shit. And the hotel room attack, he wakes up with like the stuff on his face, and the chick like lights it on fire. And when the room is like rotating and you can see like the main two characters in like the right side of the frame, it looked like stunt doubles. It didn't even look like Mo and whoever the other chick was. It was clearly not them. It was like stunt doubles for some reason. I don't know. It didn't look like them. Yeah, that was a cool scene. Like the room like rotating, like the stuff's falling up the wall and it's on fire. Why wouldn't he bring like a video camera or just a camera? He's like, I need to steal the truck as proof that they're taking this shit from here. And it's like, well, why don't you just videotape and document it from the hills that you're hiding? Like, you should have brought like a camera or something. Just saying, just throwing it out there, you know. And so then James Dixon, I think, the actor who's in all kinds of Larry Cohen films, he gets ran over by the truck and his face like explodes. His whole body like implodes from the inside out, just stuff flying out. And then so he goes to I guess this friend of his who's like a conspiracy theorist. He has his own like radio station. I guess he's like that one guy, Alex Jones. He's like you know, the commies are coming, they're trying to put shit in the water. He's that type of guy. He's a conspiracy theorist. And so he's trying to use him for help to get his access to his radio station. So by the end of this movie, they can like broadcast a message to the people like, hey, don't eat this shit. Which they do end up doing, and for some reason it actually works. Like, I didn't think that would happen. It's like you're gonna listen to some random guy on the radio going, "Don't eat the stuff. It's gonna mind control you. Burn it. If you have ate it already, go to the hospital." And it like has like a montage of everybody like throwing the stuff in trash cans, burning it, burning like walls and ads and stuff that have like graffiti. Like they're just all on board with this message on the radio that they heard. They're just like, "Yep, I believe you." That seemed kind of far stretched. Like, really? There's lots of good little one-liners here and there, especially from like Colonel Spears. Like, the workers all wear yellow, and they all like kill themselves. So he calls them yellow sons of bitches, and I thought that was kind of funny. It's like, yeah, they're yellow because they're chicken, and they're yellow because they wear all yellow. It's just a little joke that made me laugh. This Stuffy is just quick to shoot this guy. I don't know why he was so quick to do that. They pull up and they start attacking him, but before that, the guy at the guard just quickly shoots the guy in the face. It's like that just came out of nowhere. And so yeah, then like Chocolate Chip Charlie, he finally comes back into the movie, and you just know that he's infected. Like, it's obvious up front. It's like, all right, he got contaminated somehow. He's a Stuffy, as they call them in this movie. And his face starts to like stretch open. That looked pretty cheesy, fake, but I love it. And so yeah, they burn the stuff in the radio station. They get rid of it, and there's some effects there that don't age that well. There's like the electricity effect in there, and then they, like I already said, they give the message to the people, and they all believe them. So they get rid of the product. It's illegal now, and now it's being sold on streets like cocaine. They're like taking like little licks to test it. Like, yep, it's pure shit, man. So basically, by the end of the movie, the stuff is cocaine now, and They create a new product, of course. The CEOs are going to make the taste. It's only got like 10% of the stuff in it. So it's not, exactly like the last product, but there's still no nutritional facts on the damn thing. And I like that Michael Moriarty, he goes in there and he like forces them at gunpoint, like, you put this shit out and you're like having all these people get addicted. You're ruining lives while you get to live in these high, skyscrapers in New York. You get your penthouses and you get to live all nice. I'm going to force you to get addicted to your own shit. Like, here's 24 bottles. Eat it. I love that. He's like forcing them to do it, and by the end of it, they're like addicted, like pushing each other, trying to eat more stuff. Great ending. And yeah, so that's basically the end of the movie. And so the Hockey Mask Award for Best Character in this movie for me was Mo, played by Michael Moriarty. Just love this guy as an actor. Love his line delivery, his comedic timing. I love this guy. He's so great. And I don't really have a least favorite character. I loved everybody. So Clapper Award for Best Scene in this movie will be the hotel room attack with the rotating room, the stuff going up the wall on fire, the stuff attacking Moe's character, all that stuff. Very fun. And the Funny Bone Award for Funniest Moment will go to this joke.
Hey, your hose is hanging out back there.
You gonna arrest me for indecent exposure?
And those are my thoughts on The Stuff. What did you think about this Larry Cohen classic? Put all of your thoughts of it in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you like what you see here, you can hit this like button. I really appreciate it. And become a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And until next time, Auf Wiedersehen.